Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Luis walking you through how I built an LLM-powered system to help semi-automate my content publishing. This is video number 15, where I'm going to talk how I handle API keys, IAM roles, and access control. Not going to take into the council on this one, just simply going to talk here as to the thinking and how things were done, more for security reasons, because I do have a live architecture working right now, and there may be value in you seeing all these components, but then I would have to rebuild everything, and it's not good security practice, right? So with that, I did, and how I approached this was I didn't want anything hard coded in my CDK. You should never really be hard coding anything into any of your files. So it's just bad practice. So how I addressed that was I created variables that I could then use within Secrets Manager. So a lot of my CDK where I need to either call for a webhook or pass an API key or anything like that, all those values are actually stored in Secrets Manager. And it helps because now I do have kind of default dummy values just so that it creates it when I initially create the stacks that it populates in uh, Secrets Manager for the AWS org that I'm deploying to. Like I've mentioned, this is supporting two separate AWS orgs because I'm maintaining two sites. The only work that causes for me, which would be, I mean, it's just security. You just kind of have to suck it up. It's not advisable for me to say that you should automate anything security related. Maybe checks, sure, but how you're populating information, I'm really cautious about that because I don't want a bad logic or an edge case to do something that I hadn't intended or hadn't thought of. So kind of can keep everything under control. Initial CDK publishes these dummy values into the secrets manager for each one of those two orgs. All I have to go in is just go in and put the appropriate values. And now the stack knows where to go get those values and pull that information. For IAM, I've used the least privilege standard that we use in IT. Each lambda, I don't assign it to the lambda itself. If you've been following along, I have a reusable lambda construct. That construct has the permissions for IAMs that all the lambdas would need. But I do use all of that to make sure that nothing is getting more access than it needs to perform the functions that it needs to do. And lastly, my UI that I use to interact with DynamoDB, which right now runs off of a open source AG grid, that is behind Cognito. So I have to go to a Cognito link, log in, and all security is handled by Cognito. I've got a Cognito user group, set up the web page for all that. That was, I'd say, the more tedious out of everything that I've just mentioned, just because there's only so much that you can do with CDK and Cognito and with Amplify. I've deployed everything to Amplify. So I've got Amplify going. I've got to make sure that the Amplify values and the Cognito's values match. That you can absolutely do in CDK. But the actual setting up of and verifying everything Cognito, that is some console work that I needed to do. It keeps everything secure now because, sure, I'm the only one that would know that there's even a UI available for a back end on this, but you never know. Hackers are hackers, and that's why I wanted to keep the UI password protected behind a good defense site. So that's why I use Cognito for that. So that's my three-tiered approach to just kind of keeping everything in order and everything in its place. I hope you enjoyed that. For next, we're going to do how one transcript generates three different outputs. So I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.